Thanks for joining us. I'm Lorelei Shamayo. This is Metaphysical Empowerment and Wellness Events. We have events throughout the Northwest, including Seattle, Portland, Salem, and Eugene, and we're also now online. We interview our practitioners and our vendors so you get a chance to know who we are before you meet us at an event. I'm here today interviewing Moreah Love. Moreah, it's lovely to have you.
Thank you so much. Gosh, I'm so appreciate this opportunity and to be a part of the Metaphysical Empowerment Group.
Oh, it's great having you be part of the group, part of the community. Well, so tell us, what is it that you do and what do you share at our events?
Well, I've been a holistic health coach and a spiritual intuitive for over 25 years. Also, I'm a creative healing artist. As you can see behind me, I have my mandalas. And what I do is I really support people who have challenging and frustrating relationships. And I help to support them in understanding and loving and come to understand their personality in the relationship that causes them the misunderstandings. And then I offer practical, easy solutions to be able to provide them peace of mind, happiness and harmony, and which will support them definitely in establishing and creating long-term, happy, fulfilling relationships.
So what are the modalities that you use when someone comes to you, they can see from your materials that they have some challenge in their relationship they want to talk to you about? Sort of how does that unfold? What are you doing with them?
Well, I focus mainly on three things. One is the Chinese 5-element face reading. The second one is the 9-star key. And the third one is spiritual response technique. Now, I can share a little bit about each one of those. Okay,
yeah, that would be great.
Key is the main one. And how I came involved in this was last year, my husband and I were having a great struggle together because we had different personalities. We didn't understand each other. And it was kind of leading to a point where we may separate. And I prayed so hard to be able to continue this relationship, and I wanted some solutions. So wonderful thing happened. The Spirit directed this particular class called the 9-star key in my email. And I was thrilled because I had some information about 5 elements before and studying a little bit about the Chinese medicine. And I thought, well, maybe this might really help. So as I was taking this class, I started really releasing decades of self-judgment of my own behaviors because I started understanding what the main behaviors were that were creating my unhappiness in relationship. So that was just a huge thing for me. And the 9-star key itself has the history behind it is that it's been 7,000 to 10,000 years in the making, and it's very, very accurate. It's very healing. And what I understand is that through the time that it was evolving, the scholars would study the stars, they'd study the humans, they'd study the plants, they would study the seasons and the personalities of everything that was evolving from this. And I don't know how they did it, it's beyond me. But they came up with a really cool system of using the 5 elements. And the 5 elements are water, wood, fire, earth, and metal. And each one has a very specific personality to them. So they created a system where you take your birth date, like the day you're born, the month you're born, and the year that you're born, and you would find that on the chart, and you would be under one major element. And then there'd be 3 numbers underneath that. That gives me complete understanding of your personality, your challenges, your weaknesses, what happens to you when you're under stress, your true calling, your purpose, your career, all kinds of things. It's just amazing. And so I use that as the big base to work from. And it really is very, very accurate. The Chinese face reading came after the 9-star key because those two work hand in hand. And the reason why is that the 9-star key doesn't always give you the full information. The Chinese face reading, every single line every single marking, coloring, position of that on your face. The facial features themselves all tell a story about the person. And many times a person may have like all earth in their chart, but then maybe they might have some water in their face. So that changes a little bit about their personality. So you got to take the two together to be real accurate about finding, you know, the situation that's going on and help to remedy it. Mm-hmm. Now, the last one I use is spiritual response technique. And that particular modality is like 12th, 14th dimensional healing. And since I was born with clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, you know, all of the clairs, I didn't really know what to do with my gifts. I didn't really want to stay in the psychic realm. So I kept praying to do something in the spiritual realm. So in the year 2000, I met Robert Detzler and I started going through all of the classes that he had. And this particular way of working with people is on a spiritual level. And it's using a spiritual hierarchy and my clairvoyance, my intuition, a pendulum, and a whole stack of very specific charts. And I go into the person's Akashic records and talk to their high self of asking questions, what needs to be cleared for them. And the clearing is always on the negative, you know, it's always on the blockages that people have. You know, we're basically all good. It's just that we have some glitches that we get hung up on. So it actually literally erases the negative thoughts, beliefs, patterns, energies from past lifetimes, from this lifetime, and gives you more of a clean slate so that you're not emotionally attached to that trauma that happened to you in the past. And I also use that for couples because many couples come together to work a lot of things out. And using that clears the slate. Emotionally, it gets them in a better space. And then I'm able to, you know, work further with them on their 9-star key and their Chinese face reading.
I appreciate the blending of all of these together. Yeah.
It's really quite unique and it's extremely powerful.
So, and tell me a little about your art too, and then how does that wind in with your sort of spiritual expression? And do you sell your artwork at the fairs? What do you?
I do, yes. I've always been an artist, but I didn't know where to direct my energies. It was back in the year 2015 when I was having a Vedic astrology reading, and I was asking the fellow, I says, I feel like I'm going to change my approach to life, or my purpose and what I came here to do. And he says, oh, yes, you are. And I said, well, could it be art? And he says, oh, yes, you know, you're going to be a really well-known artist, but you're going to be doing mandalas. And I said, mandalas? I said, that's really different. I said, well, that's a spiritual process for sure, because they used the mandalas in the past in Tibet to go through the different deep spiritual levels, you know, to enlightenment. And it's mainly the Tantra, and that which would be the square kind of mandala instead of a circular mandala. So I started working with that and coming up with my own ideas. I came to go to the computer and I found a program that I could just play with, and I created them as a template and made each one like a 3D or 2D perception, you know, to create this beautiful healing that happens when people have it in their home. The 3D mandalas just have an energy that goes at least 500 feet all around you. So if you have that in your home, it's going to give you that energy, you know, for as long as you have it. And I started focusing on the 5 elements. And because I'm doing the 5-element face reading, I thought, well, if a person is really metal, you know, trying to be metal this lifetime and having issues with it, if they had a metal energy that they could focus on, it could help break down the resistance and bring more healing and the more opportunity to be able to unfold into more of the metal personality. And it goes with all the other elements. And then I made one, oh gosh, maybe I can make all of them together, you know? And so now I have all of them together in one particular picture.
So how are you, how are you aware of, connected to the energy of knowing which are coming through in particular configurations for the mandalas?
I have a very specific one that I create for the mandala for the 5 element. It's a shape where it has all the chakras in the center. It has the middle part is the spirit, and the other part around it is the color specifically for the person, because I relate it either to a combination of either to their first number that they have in the 9-star key, or the last number, or the combination of the two if they want that. Because, and also the middle number too can also be added, which is what they go through when they get stressed out. So I was thinking, well, if I created all of them, then I wouldn't have to guess. You know, in a sense, it takes all that away. It's not really guessing, but you know, it's just like, here you can be balanced on all of them. And then I just let the person actually pick it out. If they want to pick out just the metal or just the earth or just the water or whatever, or if they want to pick out all of them, they know too which one that they need.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's great. That's great. Wow. So then are you, you're designing them on the computer?
I design the template on the computer, and then I print it out, and then I color it, the colors that I want. Then I scan it. Then I print it out again, and then I start embellishing it with all kinds of things like sequins and different kinds of paper, shiny paper, glitter, you know, whatever I feel that it needs to have in order to support that person. And, you know, I don't even know really who's going to buy it, but I know that I'm doing it for someone. And every time that person will come and that's mine. You know?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Wow.
it takes me a couple days, 2-3 days to make them, and to elevate them and make sure that they're all equal and the whole energy is perfect.
Wow. And so there's so many things that you offer. When someone comes to work with you at a fair, are they often interested in just one particular modality, or they come more with a topic and you explore all kinds of things, or all these things happen?
It's a combination. I want to know what they want. You know, what is it that's bothering them at the moment? And many times I get people like, it's really quite evident that a lot of girls, women, have issues with their mother. And so when I find that, then I really go to the 9-star key, because then I can find the birth date and I can really give them a good personality check over and how, you know, this is going for them in their life and their purpose together. I do a number of things. I can just do SRT if they want just clearing for, you know, past lifetimes in relationships. I can do a combination of clearing and the face reading, which would probably be half an hour. I can do the face reading 9-star key and the SRT for 45 to an hour. You know, it just depends on really what they want.
And just share a little bit about the face reading too. Are you just looking at people, or do you take a photograph and you're measuring things, or how does that work?
Well, when they come to me, of course, I can see their face very easily. I can also do it over Skype, FaceTime, or Zoom. I usually have them, you know, take a picture of them so I can see a little bit more in detail the lines that they have. And then I can, you know, relate that to them when they're on the Zoom or when I'm talking with them that way. Many times that's very, very helpful. Like I say, the 9-star key is the real basic big thing. And I've had more people do that and then come back for a face reading because they say, oh, I want to have a little bit more. Because then the face just gives that little bit extra to them.
Great.
But it's really fascinating. It is extremely healing. Like, people have these ahas, you know, and especially one of my clients, I wanted to read what one of my clients said to me. Let's see here. She says, from this session, I had so many light bulb aha moments. And this eases my heartache and concerns and helps me feel so positive about our future. My husband and I have been together for nearly 30 years. And this one session helped me understand some dynamics we've had that just didn't work well. They are so obvious now, it's almost comical and delightful because now we can easily be together in more supportive ways. This is a gold mine for peace. This is a one-stop shop for a lifetime of awareness. I am so grateful to Moreah for her help. My life and my marriage are already shining with this renewal and understanding. So it goes really, really deep. And people just, like I say, they release the judgments, the anxiety, the frustrations when they can really understand the personality, which is so unique to each person, and go, wow, that really is them. Man, I can understand that now. And all the judgments go, and they say, I really love you. In fact, I'm loving you in a whole new way. And they love themselves in a whole new way because their perception has changed. So really, I want to bring more peace to this world through the relationships. And that's mainly my mission.
Yeah. Oh, it's lovely. It's lovely. If people want to learn more about you on the web, where do they go?
I'm having my web redesigned right now, so it's not quite up, but it is www.designedtoheal.com. And my email will be moreah@designedtoheal.com or .net. Excuse me, they're both .nets, not .com.
Designedtoheal.net. Okay, great. They're .nets. And people can see how to spell your name on the screen right here. It's Moreah. Great.
Yes.
Sweet. Well, it's been lovely chatting with you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And for those of you listening and watching, you can find us online at MetaphysicalEmpowermentEvents.com. See you soon.